Hello, Hearts fans. Welcome back to From the Forest to the Tie, the Dirigo Union podcast. It has finally happened. Dirigo Union got to go watch the Hearts play a game of footy in Hartford, Connecticut against Hartford Athletic. We had a great time. We were at the June Cork pub in New Hampshire.
Had to stop in Dover on the way home.
Had to stop on the way home. Almost did it at a pub down there, but ended up coming back. So this is fabulous. And this is my housekeeping before. Talk about this.
The boys just got back from Bermuda.
Right, the results in Bermuda.
We had a short preseason stint there last week. The boys went up against the Bermuda national team selects as well as RIFC. Got a 2-0 win over Bermuda, and then a couple days later held RIFC to a 0-0 draw. Obviously, we know it's preseason. Doesn't mean anything, but two big tests out of the way down south of the equator.
Good results. We're trying not to get ahead of ourselves, but we're
near
pretty
the equator.
We're pretty sure the Hearts are going to win the whole
are.
fucking league.
It's cold up here. It is cold up here.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you what.
South of the border.
Deal.
Any more housekeeping? Because I want to dive in.
Yeah.
So just real quick, obviously, to his point is
Mitchell.
To Mitchell's point.
His name's Mitchell.
Thank you. It's Mitchell's point.
I didn't introduce us, to be honest. Charles, Mitchell, Sean, and Donald.
Donald, 2
I'm just giving Sean shit. Sorry.
episodes in a row.
Wow. This is unprecedented.
All right.
Oh no,
This is the real test, though.
So
Donald.
just to Mitchell's point, it's the preseason, got it. But this is the first time this team has been out there playing, and it's nice to see them getting some momentum in the preseason, being on the winning side of things. One draw, from what we understand, and against a team in the championship that went to the final, right? So
Yep.
if you're gonna take a draw in the preseason, that's one you're gonna take a draw on. You're totally happy with it. So just to kind of put a bow on that, it's nice to see the team getting some traction, playing well together, and what we'll of course go into some detail here in just a little bit.
Finally, we saw him. We saw him play. We saw him.
I
move.
love seeing the content, though. Like last night, seeing the boys singing some T-Pain on the team bus.
Yep.
Like I
Good team
think
bonding.
it's the preseason is a lot more than just what happens on the field. It's the stuff that happens on the field. We're a young team. Everybody's new. There's no real relationships from past teams. So it's exciting to see the team clicking well on the road before the season gets going.
Absolutely. Really good team bonding there on the bus.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy you a drink.
I got one, big boy. You want another one?
It's the
We've had a
it's
few
the
drinks
lyrics
at
from
this
the-
point. It's been a long day. It's been a long
But
day.
it's
I also
5:30.
did not sleep very well last night because it was like Christmas morning, right?
Yes. Oh, right.
Yeah.
I was look, how long have we been waiting for this?
Oh, so exciting.
Honestly,
Long time.
Years.
Years. Yeah, literally years.
years, and we finally get to see the boys play today, and it was everything I was hoping it would be.
Yeah, let's break
I'm
down
not
the
keeping
day.
waiting anymore. We
Yeah.
won 4-0 against Hartford Athletic. So and they were great goals. It was a tale of two halves. So we'll say that when we arrived at the beautiful stadium, which I like the stadium a lot, by the way.
Yeah, Trinity.
It is a nice stadium.
55 degrees, no wind, sunny. We had taken all of our stuff from Maine down. We were layered and we stripped it all off. Got out there, almost felt like we were in a different time or a different.
It was
I
a
don't
good
know,
teaser for
area of the
Naples.
country.
in a
It's hard to
couple
believe we
weeks.
only just went
Yeah.
down to Hartford, but it was beautiful. And then the second half started, and the wind, it dropped probably 15, 20 degrees, and it was all wind towards us. So we played into the wind in the second half, whereas there was no wind advantage in the first half. So a tale of two halves. Scoreline certainly reflects that. We'll talk about that. But starting off, seeing these guys for the first time, what was your impression overall? Mine was definitely I was surprised at how good we were in possession. And I felt like we actually played possession football as opposed to pressing. We did press, but I didn't think it was as high press as I was expecting. And that maybe because we did have around 4 trialists today, I believe, and most of them seemed to be playing up front. Titus Washington was on the bench, maybe we don't know the reason. So we didn't get to see him play. But what was your impression, Mitchell, overall?
I think it was a good look at what we're gonna see. I think the team meshing well, having a couple of good results down in Bermuda, coming back to a club that we're going to be matched up against in the Jägermeister Cup. Obviously, they had a lot of academy players and a few trialists themselves. It wasn't their first team, but I saw a lot of creativity.
Mhm.
I saw a lot of energy. I saw a lot of ruthless aggression, if you will.
Yeah.
They're
pretty
a
aggressive.
lot of hard-nosed football, and it is everything Bobby said he wanted to bring here. I think we hit a lot of the key points talking about players in the build-up to getting preseason matches underway. It was just really special to get out there and see the guys meshing so well, and I was surprised they were slinging the ball as well as they were.
Right.
The passing
There was
was
some
phenomenal.
beautiful stuff, beautiful passages of play.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really impressed with where we're at this early on. 3 weeks to go to Lewiston High School, the U.S. Open Cup against Filens. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Today was just like it was a tease, just going into a game, getting to sing a few songs, see the boys going at it. Just special.
Absolutely.
Preseason didn't mean anything. Still special.
I don't know. I think it means everything. I think we're going to win the league now.
Treble season.
That's the
inbound.
vibe. That's the vibe. You know, a really good preseason doesn't always mean a hell of a season, but the vibe is really good right now.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Yeah, no,
Sean?
I think I'm going to repeat a lot of the things that Mitch brought up. The speed to the ball, and the passing and the attacking up the left hand side, and even on defense. There's a couple hairy points where Hartford was out in front, like literally no one between the attacking player and the goalkeeper, and our center back Vinberg. Got back, made a great tackle in the box, and snuffed out the attack. So, again, the aggression on both ends, both on defense and both on offense, is what we saw today. Largely in the first half.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that and probably here in just a little bit. But exactly what Mitch was talking about, what Bobby was telling us, that we're going to be aggressive. We're going to be on the front foot. We're going to be pressing them for the ball. And when we get the ball, we're going to be going the other way and looking to score. And we saw a lot of that today.
So you're referencing the first about 15 minutes of the game. There were a couple chances for Hartford. Like, we easily could have gone a goal, possibly two behind first 15 minutes, but it changed quite a bit after
We
that.
did
had a hell
have
of a
that first
half.
quick chance. Like, we did have the first chance on target, which was fun to see. That got my blood pumping.
Yeah.
But then there was two quick ones within 15 minutes that, should have been at least a goal.
Yeah.
But
And then we
Sean
tightened it up.
and Hunter came to save the day. That touch over the bar from Hunter Morse was beautiful.
And I think the first save on a breakaway was a foot save. He was down on one foot.
Yeah.
I'd have to look it back. It's hard
Great
to
save.
remember
Brick
exactly.
wall.
Great save.
Shout
But
out
yeah, no,
Utah.
it was a good save. He did,
Yeah.
stayed on his feet, and we certainly tightened it up after the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
What do
Sure.
you think? What do you think, Donald?
Honestly, like going in, so what maybe not a lot of people know is in our band practice back on Wednesday, Ollie Wright and Mickey Riley came out and visited us, which was super awesome to see them. And I remember talking to Ollie and I said, what do you think about the team? And he said that when he, signed up for the team, or when he signed for the team, when he was looking at it, he's like, oh man, we got a lot of young people here. It's like we don't have a lot of those veterans. And I think he was a little worried about it.
Yeah.
But he said, like, once they started playing, like, they're not playing like they're young. And so going into this game, I was like kind of curious to see what that looked like. I was impressed with like the amount of chemistry they already have in the preseason, playing with each other for how many weeks? Like,
Yeah, not very long. Not very long.
right?
long at
Like,
all.
so, and listen, I'm not trying to read too much into it, but it's just like, that is such a cool thing to see. And it's like, gives me a lot of like, hope for like the upcoming season that, we're going to be competitive. We're going to be tough to beat. We're going to be right in the game. So for me, that was like my big takeaway from this was like seeing that quality there early, which is really cool. So for me, I'm jazzed, pretty jazzed.
Yeah.
Donald's jazzed.
I'm jazzed.
Should we should we
Yeah.
throw the starting 11 at him? So everyone-
Absolutely.
do it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Throw it at us.
All right, so no in particular order. In terms of position, we had Jones Riley started at right back, Messer at left back, Vinberg was one of our starting center backs, Walter Varela, thank you, was our starting winger on the right side. And then we had Green was the associated center back with Vinberg. Hunter Morris was between the sticks. Mr. Langlois and MPA was our dual number 6s. We did have a trialist that was up playing on striker, which is the reason why we didn't have our starting striker in the lineup. He was on the bench, and then we had Mr. Riley playing the dual 10
Mickey
with Ollie, of course.
Yep.
And that was our starting 11 for the match today against Hartford Athletic.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I want to talk about Ollie.
the birthday boy.
What is his birthday? Happy birthday,
happy
Ollie.
birthday, Ollie.
Big 2-6.
What a great showing. I'll say he did play a little bit in the second half, but it was primarily first half he played. He just seemed like on another level every time he touched the ball. The first goal was a result of a beautiful ball in from him, and I believe it was Mickey Riley almost got a touch. There was a good replay of at first I thought from seeing it live, I was like, I don't think Mickey touched the ball, but he made the goalie go one way because the goalie had to anticipate that Mickey was going to get a touch.
Right.
And I think on the replay I saw but it was footage from Pat, who's behind the goal. He posted on Instagram. Definitely looked like Mickey did not get a touch.
No.
So then the ball fell to our trialist.
Yep.
And he scored the first goal. But really amazing work by Ollie. We'll talk more about him throughout this podcast, I'm sure. Probably my shout out for player of the match. But
wow, jumping ahead.
I'm just going to throw it out there. He's impressive. He just seemed on another level. Every time he had the ball, he's confident.
Yeah.
He did run over and celebrate with this guy over here. And I may have been there too. I may have sung the first player song ever in the history of the club that may have featured Ollie Wright's name. But
Solo.
yeah, let's
Solo.
Meanwhile, I'm on the
other
Meanwhile, I'm on the side of the field
Acapella.
begging for him to come over.
God, I had a
didn't
good
even look
time
at
today,
me.
boys. That was so fun.
There may have been a pulling of Ollie Wright between Mitch and Don. He may have picked one of them. There could be some hurt
It's
feelings.
totally fine. No, I'm fine.
Maybe
I'm over
there
it.
might be a therapy
We're
session
jumping
later.
all over.
I know, we're jumping all over. We'll go. So
We're jumping
all
everywhere.
right, talk a little bit. We'll talk about Ollie, and then maybe we can talk about
So that was the
other
first
players
goal.
that really featured out really well today.
Second goal didn't come too far after that, and that came from Walter on a ball in from Ollie.
Yep. Ball in the ball from Ollie.
So Ollie notched his first assist on the second goal. Another great, well worked. But every goal today came from really smart, patient buildup.
And on the left side, we were attacking down the left side.
We were playing through the
Predominantly
left.
down left side.
Everything came out of the left side.
But it was also a testament to Jaden filling that channel on the right side too. Like he was a threat all game, both offensively.
He's
and
my
defensively.
runner-up for man of the match.
But that second goal might have been my favorite until the second half started.
Yeah, I wonder why. You talk about jumping all over the place. Tell us about the second goal. So Walter gets the ball from Ollie.
And cuts inside. Nice, beautiful finish.
Beautiful finish.
And it was almost like Jaden Jones-Riley wanted to do the same thing and followed it up before halftime. Cut inside and slotted a really nice finish.
Third goal, Jaden Jones-Riley. A real wingback we have here, people.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he's up and down that wing. He's fast. He makes a tackle. He's also got a hell of a cross on him. He's a beautiful player. He took that turn, ball was on his right, he bouncing, brought it in at full speed onto the left foot, probably a little farther than he would have liked. There's a replay of that as well, and then finished it left foot. It was a beautiful finish.
Absolutely.
Beautiful goal.
Yeah.
And that was the first half. I really was impressed with our ability to track back. We held Hartford to very minimal chances in the first half. It was really smart, hard-nosed football for 45 minutes. It was a clinical first half.
We showed a lot of physicality.
We did.
Yep.
Yeah, we certainly did. And, also mentioned when we were taking our corner kicks in previous podcasts, we had talked about, who are those individuals that are going to be taking those corners and even some set pieces from the field of play, right? So what we saw today when we were talking about actual set pieces on the field, no surprise, we saw Ollie step into the ball for a large majority of them. And then on the set pieces, it is to be said that Messer, as far as I saw, was taking every single one of them.
Yeah.
Without that left foot of his.
He got a hell of a left foot.
Yeah.
Great left foot. Yeah. And some of the other things that maybe we didn't touch upon there in the first half is, and we did mention Vinberg back in the 7th minute, cutting out that advance on Hartford early in the game. We did talk about that. Also, Hunter Morse tipping a ball over the bar on a set piece.
Yep.
It was dipping down. It was going to drop below that crossbar, and he was getting some fingertips on it and pushing it up over the top. So good defensive play by our keeper there. And he actually had another save earlier on. That a strike actually got through hard and low, and he got down and put the sure hands on it.
He had 2 of those.
Yeah, he did.
He was great in goal.
Yeah, I
today.
thought he was impressive. He had a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't, anything crazy, but it was solid goalkeeping.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mentioned that I was impressed by our physicality, and it was something I was really interested in seeing today, but we were there for every challenge. We were never cheap. I mean, and the only thing there was one professional foul, in the first half where I'm not sure who it was, but just a little shirt tug to pull him down, and rightly so awarded a yellow.
It was Jones Riley,
Was it Jones?
professional
Okay.
foul, like you said, just a grab of the shoulder, stopping the advance, nothing more than that.
But I was really impressed with the physicality and the tackling overall.
Clean tackling.
Very clean, very clean, and I think that says something about a team.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying this as a Hearts fan, but like Hartford was clean too. They weren't dirty, but they were dirtier than us. Put it that way. And we just came through the clean cycle.
Hey, it's preseason for the refs too,
Well, yeah, they're going to figure it out. But you weren't there. You get to see the guy. I'm just telling you, like, if you had to pick one team that was a little nastier, I would say they were. But I would say we were probably even more physical. We were up for the challenge. There's no question.
And formation wise, in the first half,
let's talk about formation.
We saw in defense, and we brought this up once before, and this was basically verified, if you will. In defense, largely 4-4-2 is what we saw. Yeah. There was a little bit at times, depending on how far back in their own half the opposition was. You might see more of a 4-2-3-1, trying to kind of get more of a radius on that front forward line, if you will, if they're back in their half a little bit further. But if we're back in ours and we're in a true defensive formation, if you will, 4-4-2 is what we saw all day long with the Hearts. Yeah. Backed up. On offense, we did see a little bit more of the 4-2-3-1 being utilized throughout the match. That was predominantly their attacking formation, was a 4-2-3-1. We did see a few signs of early on, and I think it kind of got abandoned probably within the first 20 minutes of the match. On the attack, we did see a back 3 forming. You'd see Langlois drop back in between the 2 center backs. You'd see Green move off to the left and Vinberg move off to the right. And both of our attacking wing backs would be pushed forward. Yeah. So there was some of that early on in the first half.
You could tell they were trying different things. It was definitely had that preseason feel where it almost to the point where it was a very liquid formation because it was changing. They were. I was watching Ollie come back, and at one point I thought he was playing center back. And then they're talking and moving. But so that's to be expected.
It was also very clear that they are giving free rein to Ollie and Riley to move around, free will as they see fit. Certainly on the attacking side of the ball, right?
Absolutely.
Looking to get into space, get the ball, and dish up to the attackers and the wingers and even the outside backs running into the channels. Yeah. I even saw at one point in the game where Ollie was on the right wing and Walter was on the left wing. And then Riley came back more into the actual 10 role and was dishing back and forth. And then I saw that whole thing flip completely, and then Ollie was in the 10 and Riley was on the left and Walter was back where he was supposed to be. So a lot of moving parts between those players up front.
Yeah. And like to your point, Donald, I was surprised there's a lot of synergy there for these guys not playing very long together. I don't know if it's the same case for Hartford, but it didn't feel like we were behind them in any sense of things,
No, it was almost I want to kind of touch on the composure that we held. Like, for a young team, it's preseason, no competitive points on the line, but, like, there didn't seem to be any sort of panic at all throughout that game. Like, when we brought up that track back that Sean made early on, like, he was gone by 10, 15 yards.
Right.
We got back and snuffed it out immediately. Like,
great tackle.
It was
great tackle.
Unreal composure from a very young, new team. And I think that stands out the most in that first half predominantly.
Yeah, things changed a
me.
lot in the second half.
But I think that's something that I wish we can bottle and hold on to throughout this inaugural campaign.
For sure.
Did you guys get the feeling, though, like that we weren't forcing anything? We were recycling possession.
Mm-hmm.
We had, wingers on the touchlines. We were pretty wide today, actually.
It was calm. I loved it.
Yep.
But does that ability to go wide translate at Fitzpatrick, which is much more narrow than the pitch we were at today?
Yeah.
We shall see.
We shall see.
Yeah. And I think that's where Bobby had said once before, at Fitzy, that 4-2-3-1 that we were kind of talking about, it's going to start looking more like a 4-2-2-2, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to start looking more like a 4-2-2-2. So we'll see when we get to Fitzy on May 4th.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It makes sense.
Before we get into the second half, boys, do we want to talk about the Blazing Musket?
Sure. Good time. Take a break, talk about the Blazing Musket.
We're going to be found on the Blazing Musket. From the Forest to the Tide is going to be the official Portland Hearts of Pine podcast through the Blazing Musket Network moving forward. So throughout the inaugural campaign, to stay up to date on Hearts news, fan reactions, and the authentic fan voice of the club, follow the Blazing Musket, give them a shout out on social, and check us out there. We're going to still have our podcast on all the normal platforms. Nothing changes for the viewer.
Mm-hmm.
Just another place that you can find From the Forest to the Tide.
Yeah, thank you, Blazing Musket, for helping us build From the Forest to the Tide, and hopefully we'll build the Blazing Musket as well.
Growing New England soccer one day at a time.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
And meet some other, there's some podcast guys already on as part of the Blazing Musket. So hopefully we can link up with those guys like Sean has done already.
Yep.
I hear he might be linking up with them again in the near future. So, and it might become a monthly thing, possibly.
We got
check
some,
that out.
We got another podcast in the works there over in the Blazing Musket. We did a little bit of a New England podcast with the surrounding New England soccer teams and their supporter groups.
Yep.
And that
was
really
good.
really hit off big. And we're looking to do more of that on a monthly to a month and a half type time frame going forward. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be another good opportunity to talk some football.
On that note, it's kind of fun too. On our drive up to the June Court after the game, we were talking a little bit about what this podcast becomes. What form does it take moving forward? And then, what other shows does the Dirigo Union do? And this show will continue, an in-person show. We've got some ideas for that. Certainly not going to stop anytime soon as we build this. But also going to do some match reaction stuff. There'll probably be an online show that's live. And then, kind of that something you see more typically where you get a couple guys on screen and they're recording independently. But we'll do a show like that. And maybe even a live stream show. So we watch on away days, where we're at a pub, maybe we're at the zoo and the camera's on us, but we're watching the game. And we got everybody watching the game behind us. That could be a lot of fun. So we have a lot of fun ideas now that games are going to start coming thick and fast. It was so neat today, so cool today. This feels so real, and it really feels like it started here.
Yeah,
3 more weeks.
It's going
Less,
so fast.
less.
Yeah.
19
Crazy.
days.
It's flying by.
Can't wait.
So we're a little all over, but apologies. But let's talk a little bit about the second half.
That was a good little break.
Yeah, it was a good little bit. Much different second half. The wind kicked up during halftime. I mean, 20 degrees colder, wind's blowing in our faces, but we started really strong. What awesome event happened here at the start of the second half?
30 seconds.
Right at the start, basically.
Yeah, so just real quick, just the substitutes that came in. So Vinberg off, Green off, Morse off, Langlois stayed on at the time. We'll talk about that, a little substitute a little bit later. And we did change out trialists on the striker side of the things. We had 2 or 3 different trialists playing striker for us, so we did change out our trialists at our striker position, and that is the change at the half.
Yep.
And then
We weren't even at our seats yet, which
No.
actually ended up being working out in our favor. But Ollie Wright may have scored a goal.
yeah, unbelievable finish off the post to make it 4-0. And he was running to Donald for a second there, and we got the birthday boy to come to the end line.
We were right there celebrating with Ollie on the other side of the fence.
Pretty sure he was just running to the corner. I just happened to be in the corner.
Yeah.
Because I think if he knew that I was there, I think he would have ran right up to me.
Because you guys go way back, right? All the way back to Wednesday.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got history
We've
there.
been talking on the old chip. I slid into his DMs, so we've been talking for a while.
I'll tell you what, I'll remember this moment as a Hearts supporter for a long time. Just to be able to celebrate a goal with Ollie and with Mitchell right there.
That sounds great.
It was awesome.
It sounds like an awesome time.
No, it was amazing. It's too bad you didn't make it. You could have been there too.
I was trying to get back to my seat.
You could have run over as well.
I tried.
We
I was screaming
locked
at him
eyes
from the stands.
afterward.
It was muddy. It was great.
He looked like the audio to a Sarah McLachlan ASPCA commercial was playing. He's just like.
So who played the ball?
Cloud cover coming in.
I saw it unfold though, but I can't remember who played the ball into to Ollie.
Well, I'd love to tell you. I was back there talking. I heard.
I apologize.
I heard the goal.
You heard the post.
I heard the ball hit the post.
I'll tell you what, though.
And
bounced around a little bit.
And then I heard the excitement. And I believe you may have been the only one that had a real good look at it.
I had a good look at it. So they were coming down the right wing towards, I'm behind the goal, a little bit to the right. We're coming down the right wing. The ball gets played into the center. And I actually wanted the ball played back. I was thinking, play it back. And no, we took a couple touches and found Ollie coming on the left. And he had a beautiful touch, I believe, with his right foot, but he opened up his body and curled it into the far post. And it hit the post. At first, I thought it was going to come straight across the line and not be a goal.
Right.
But it nestled into the opposite corner of the post it had hit. So, beautiful goal. Beautiful celebration.
Goal for the birthday boy.
Beautiful man moment. Beautiful, shiny, bald moment.
It's like a cat tongue right now.
Dude, it is.
I shaved it at 5
like a
o'clock
cat
this
tongue.
morning.
Oh no! Where are we doing? What are we doing?
I got my 5 o'clock shadow going.
So after the goal, I really felt like the tone of the game shifted. So we made a bunch of subs.
It did.
It became a lot scrappier.
Yeah.
But there were also some really, really cool moments. We got to have a good look at players. I was really impressed with MPA, Michelle.
Yep.
He was playing forward a little bit more. Man, can he put a tackle in?
Yes.
And I was talking to Sean on the way down, thinking sometimes you see pictures of a player, since we've only up to today have only had images and maybe some short clips to go on. And every image of Michelle, he's airborne, both feet.
Yeah.
Whether he's dribbling and his center of gravity is so low, he's touching maybe the top of the ball with his right foot, his left foot's off the ground as well. And there's a handful of players that move like that. So I was really excited to watch him play today.
It's unique.
And he's very physical.
Yeah.
Definitely puts in a tackle. But I really, and he didn't attack as much the first half, but the second half he did step forward, especially after the 20 minutes or so in the second half. And he did play a ball at one point, right foot, curling around the back of the defense. And unfortunately, the striker wasn't able to get on the end of it. But man, if he could have just taken it on his chest, but the ball was so beautiful, it deserved that.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, there were a couple individual plays like that really got me excited today. And that was one of them. So it was an individual effort, I will say, but it was beautiful.
Yeah.
The kid's got skills.
He also played the full 90, which was pretty awesome.
Did he play the full 90
He
today?
did, yeah. I remember because I was sitting there and Bobby asked him if he could do it, and he said, yeah, and he was just good to see that he has that fitness.
He's got an engine.
It was him and the two wing backs that played the full 90.
Right, you're right. Yep.
Another player that came on that really impressed me was Evan Southern.
Oh, I can't wait to talk
Evos, as his parents would say. They call him Evos.
We were sitting with mom and dad. Shout out to Evan's mom and dad.
And Mickey's mom was down in front of us as well.
Oh, that's so fun, man.
No, Evan Southern, he's playing out of position, learning the left
Yep.
side.
Yep.
Typically a centrally located player.
Wiry player, quick. On the smaller side.
Is he taking to it? Like his ability to look for the 1-2, create that space. His runs were all picture perfect. His first time balls in were perfect. I really can't say enough good things about him. And he's one of those players that we didn't have much to go on going into the season. He's a JMU graduate. You know, he had a good career at JMU, and you know, he's making the jump to the next level like a lot of these guys are.
Yep.
And I just can't say how impressed I am with the mentality of these guys to look at something new, try something new, and trying to make it work. And it feels like it's working already. Like his link up on the left side with Messer was phenomenal.
He's a link-up player.
Very fun to watch.
His first touch was like on the end line. He had that pass back right?
Yeah.
That ball nearly went in. I think the goalie got his hand on it, didn't he?
He had like
Yes,
4
yeah,
or
he got-
5
yeah.
shots on net.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
Running
great.
to the byline,
Yep.
pulling the ball back. He
Yep.
did that 3 times. The first one was perfect, and it didn't end up in a goal for whatever reason. Second
Yep.
one wasn't quite as perfect, but still great effort. Got to the byline, and the third one, as you said.
Right.
But like, there was a moment. It was perfect. I wish I could watch it back. Wish we could watch these back. I had a great look at him, and the ball was played into his feet a little slow. Right, It's bouncing, coming into his feet. Still fast enough. You need a good touch, and the defender was trying to get really coming in hot. So it all depended on Evan's first touch. And instead of taking the first touch, just played a quick little cheeky ball to his left with the outside of his left foot right into God, who was that? Must have been
It must have been Messer.
Messer.
Yeah, he was on the same
Yeah,
side.
and it didn't come right back to him. He tried, but it wasn't played back to him with speed. But that says nothing. Takes nothing away from Evan Southern's touch, which was beautiful, and he
Right.
did it under really high
Immense
pressure.
pressure.
Right.
And his touch really was what I was most impressed with every time he got the ball.
Yes.
It was on point.
Head up, looking for an option or an ability to
Easily
to
could have
make a
gotten an
move.
assist or maybe even a goal today. Like,
Yeah.
unlucky
I mean,
to not be on the sheet.
And it's not like all of his shots were right at the keeper. I think one of the 4 or 5 that were on target were right at the keeper.
Yeah.
All of them were placed with pretty decent power, like very good efforts on that.
Yeah. He cut in at one point, and I wish he tried to curl it, but he struck through it. So instead of curling towards the goal, it just took it away.
Yeah.
But
Right.
still a beautiful strike.
Just a
The
little
kid's
mistake.
got a foot on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And great touch.
Oh,
I like our team.
Yeah.
I like these guys.
If you sat there and had nothing to do today and were like, yeah, I'm not gonna drive to Hartford. I don't know what to tell you. You missed out on a great day.
yeah.
Yeah.
You missed out on a solid, I would say, 60, 70 minutes of football.
For a
and-
preseason match.
And in the second half in the preseason, it got into a little bit of a kick around.
Yeah.
A little bit of back and forth. Khalid came on in the 70th minute.
It was nice to see
he
him
got-
get some time.
Yeah.
He got about 20 minutes, getting some time in there. The number 6, so kind of getting some minutes under his belt. It was good to see. And Cash, which he came in at the half for Hunter Morris, had
Right,
a
we
nice
switched-
save in the 57th
Switch
minute.
keepers. Yep.
Yep.
Worth noting.
Yep.
Still maintain the clean sheet.
He was calm under pressure in a couple moments too. I remember, I don't know if I was talking to Don or if it was Mitchell, but I was like, he played that ball a little slower than I would have.
Yeah, no,
Right, he was so
I
calm.
I was like calm as you like,
Yeah,
baby.
like-
Like,
Yeah.
and there was no sense of fear. Anytime somebody was applying pressure,
Yeah.
they just stuck to what they wanted to do, kept their heads the entire 90 minutes
Yeah.
through all the changes, through the weather changes.
Mhm.
I was so impressed with what I saw today.
Yeah.
So impressed. Like,
Yeah.
if anybody had any doubts going into the season of what we're getting, throw them out the window. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, it is going to be fine. There are
Yeah.
going to be times through the season where we have our massive ups and our massive downs.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. I don't think there's going to be massive downs.
It's a learning curve. We're an inaugural team.
Yeah.
There's
We're
going to
gonna-
be time like
We're gonna
we
have our
could catch an
heartaches.
injury bug.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
soccer.
It's soccer. It's
Yeah.
part of the game.
Yeah.
But day one, going into it, I'm just thankful for the point that we're at moving into the season.
There's been much worser places for startup teams than where we're currently at right now.
Oh, heck yeah,
100%.
bud.
That's for sure, right? We're in a pretty good spot as a startup team, and what we saw today, and knowing what we got on the table in front of us. March 20th, Open Cup, our first game of consequence, and I think we've got a pretty good team to go into that matchup.
Yeah.
And come out with a win.
Hopefully
I
build
really do.
some confidence from today. I
Yeah.
mean, they turned the scoreboard off. That says something.
Yeah,
They're
So-
trying to sell
it
season
was
tickets.
it was
It
like
went
50
from
minutes
showing
in.
the score, which was 4-0,
Yeah.
to maybe you guys should buy season tickets.
Yeah,
We're just
with
taking
the-
this thing off the board
Well,
here.
there
You
was a
guys-
giant. What are those? The codes called? The
the QR code up there.
giant
Yeah,
QR
yeah.
code.
Yeah.
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 Shortly
I thought that
after the post-ringing goal from our own Ollie, the big scoreboard just went off.
It-
We're
yeah,
and
just
then
didn't work.
some
going
of
to sell
the
season tickets now.
It probably
We're good.
didn't.
and then some of the Hartford faithful came and sat with us.
Yes,
Right.
they did.
Yeah, that was cool. We actually gained some fans.
I
The
know.
supporters game today.
They came over and announced that we were going to be friends,
Yeah.
shook our
Yeah.
hands,
Yep.
and sat there and talked with us for the entire second half.
Yep.
It was a good
They
show
did.
from everybody who came out today. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't a lot of us, but it was a good show. And I think
Yeah.
the players really appreciated it, getting a little ahead of things here, but there was, some great
Colby
handshakes at the end.
said we need more people.
Oh, we do.
And I agree.
We do. We need to get more butts and seats.
We're gonna have a lot.
It's
We're gonna have a
early, but-
lot in Lewiston. We're
Yeah.
gonna be loud in Lewiston.
Yeah,
It's gonna
it'll
be
be
fun.
ace.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
There's
for it.
another opportunity to get to Hartford.
Yep.
April 26th.
Yep.
If we can get 56 people, we can hop on a charter bus, sing songs for 3.5 hours, all the way down to Hartford, and have a phenomenal time together. So put it on your calendar, April 26th. We already have a Google form going out for the Hartford trip, Jägermeister Cup match.
Yep.
Get on the list so we can get the plans ready to go. We have the ticket link, so if you want to come April 26th, we're going to spread that ticket link out very soon, probably this week.
Right.
And start the planning because Naples planning is kind of a little bit behind us now. We're
Yeah.
only a couple of weeks from Fun in the Sun.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Should we talk a little bit about Hartford's team? I mean, that's not really our business, but we did come to learn that they had played a game. A lot of the stars had played a game yesterday, so we don't know how many of them featured today. They had some trialists, squad players. It's a preseason. So and that's why we say don't take too much from preseason, but we weren't playing the Hartford starting 11 today.
No, far
There's no
from it.
reason to think that.
There's a very depleted Hartford team that we went against today. The information we got from the supporter section is approximately 3 players was probably in their 18-man squad first team.
Yeah.
Emphasis on just the squad.
Mm-hmm.
And then a large majority of the rest of the team was dressed out with academy players and fringe players outside of that 18 squad. So, again, that was the team that they put on the field because they just quite literally played a game yesterday, right? So certainly can understand not asking those players coming out the very next day and playing another 90 minutes, right?
Yeah.
You can only play what's in front of you.
So we got that.
Yeah,
but,
it was probably more equivalent to an MLS Next Pro side where you had a lot of the younger guys, the fringe players that are getting loaned out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from the fact of the controlling our own destiny, right? Like we could have easily folded. There could have been moments where, we let up on defense or, got sloppy to the point that a ball squeaks through. And
no, we never got to a point where I saw us shutting off, as they like to call it.
Yeah.
I never saw that once in the full 90 minutes.
Right.
I don't think the off button exists. And, I have a very short list of samples to go from, that being one. But from what we saw, it was 90 minutes of foot on the gas, keep up the same pressure.
Yep.
We're going to try through all of our stuff and see what
We
works,
worked through
what
it the
doesn't.
second half. Let me paint a picture for you. That ball, we're playing into the wind the second half. This is you couldn't kick the ball more than 30 yards.
No,
It's coming back
everything
at you.
was
So
on the
it's
ground.
severe wind. You tried to put the ball in the air. It's coming right back at you. We had to play on the ground. Some players still probably a couple times played in the air when they shouldn't have. But so I'm impressed we kept a clean sheet considering how much wind we were playing into the second half. And maybe it's colder, super windy. Maybe that's why it got scrappier. It could be as simple as that. But it did play devolved a little bit.
So, literally halftime, we were here and basically as you see us in our long sleeve shirts, in the stands, enjoying the sun, enjoying the weather, very little to no wind.
No wind at all.
And then in the second half, the clouds rolled in, just a few sprinkles, nothing that really amounted
I'm
to
thankful
anything.
we stayed
Dark
dry.
skies, though. We were ready for rain.
All of us ended up making our ways to the car and grabbed some coats and grabbed something to stay warm with, and we came back fully equipped.
I have one of those every now and then.
Yeah.
It was a good decision. There was even a suggestion on the way here that we pick an MVP for the first half and maybe somebody else for the second half since it really was such a different game. But you guys know who my MVP was. Runner-up for me was Jaden Jones-Riley. I really liked that finish. I really liked his work down that side. I thought he had a great day. Yeah. A really exciting player to watch. A mention to Walter Varela, scored her second goal. A mention to Michelle. A mention to, I actually really thought Nathan Messer.
That's who I was
had
thinking.
a hell of a game today. That left foot. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but man,
You have.
Yeah.
I like that guy's left foot. I'm sure you got a right
Sean
foot too. But
Vinberg as well had a
phenomenal,
awesome game.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Another
hustle. Thank
honorable
you.
mention that I'd like to throw out is, and speaking of no off switch, was Mickey Riley tonight.
Yeah,
Like what a
I
headache
like watching
he's
him
going
play
to be.
too. Yeah,
I mean, he's still young,
Yep.
still developing, still just coming right out of college, but he was on top of people constantly.
Yeah.
It felt like wherever the ball was, he just happened to be
He's
there
a
as
hawk.
well. Yeah, I loved it.
Ooh, I like that term.
The hawk.
The hawk.
Ball
Mickey the
hawk.
Hawk Riley.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. Glad we're recording. Remember it.
No,
Who are your
I,
shout outs, Mitchell?
I would, just for sake of diversity in our choices, I think I'm going to go with Jaden Jones-Riley. I was
Yeah.
really impressed with his.
He's your top pick for MVP.
Yeah,
I think it's deserved.
I want to go with Ollie, but I think Jaden Jones-Riley also deserves
Remember
it
that,
for the
Ollie,
word.
when you look back at your first
Hey.
game.
Yeah,
I
haven't
You're
said
my
it's your
MVP,
birthday
but-
enough. No, I mean, I think they're 1A, 1B. I think they both made a tremendous impact on the game in different ways.
No question. Nasty two guys to have in your squad.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled with this.
Yeah.
Sean?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave a player to the guy to my right here, and I'm gonna go with the Vinberg with a defender.
Yeah.
After the miscue that we had at the back, he was the guy on his horse back to snuff out the attack.
Bit of a sweeper feel to him in a way. Like
and he came in on that right side of that attack of the attacker and made a great sweeping tackle to take the ball out and completely killed that play. And of course, the ball trickling out to Hunter Morse, which collected it. And we would also see some crosses coming in from Hartford when they did actually have a little bit of time down in the attacking side of the house.
yeah, especially their second half.
And one of the first people you usually saw putting a head on the ball and clearing it
Mhm.
was Vinberg.
Yeah.
Yep.
Always in the center of that 6-yard box even, and making sure that the ball is not getting anywhere as near his keeper. Corners, you would see him sealing off the front of that front post, and making sure that if his keeper was calling for it, he had a clean area to go out there and grab that ball and attack that ball. Things that you're looking for your center back. So for me, I'm gonna go defense. I'm gonna go Vinberg.
That's a good shout.
Yep.
Pressure's on, Donald.
Oh man, I don't think it was Ollie right. It was Ollie right. 2 assists, right?
And
One
really, almost three.
one goal, 1 assist, almost 2 assists.
Almost two assists, right?
Two assists,
Yeah.
because-
But it was his calming presence on the ball, right? He got the ball. It wasn't rushed. There's a lot of times he had that ball down on the left wing, especially in the first half, and you're thinking, oh man, he's just going to throw it in. He's going to cross it. He would wait for that next run to come.
Yep.
Put the ball more towards the end line. So I really, really, really enjoyed watching that. And I feel like everyone kind of fed off that was playing
Confidence.
around in.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's my vote. It was Ollie right.
It did have that feel like that you could feel his confidence, and I think that brought everybody up around him too.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really exciting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love that shout.
Yeah. It was also good to see Samuel Camacho tonight, right? Like he just
Yeah.
got his visa. He just got here.
Yep.
Saw him in the second half.
Second half.
I thought he played pretty well.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
didn't see a lot of him. I was
Yep.
blocked for a hot minute there, getting swarmed by our friendly friends at Hartford. But it was cool. It was cool to like see him on the field and stuff. And JT is on his way.
Yep.
Sounds like
He's
No,
the last
but-
one we're waiting on.
yeah,
right?
he's the
not
last one.
G-
He's one.
not
I'm
with us
excited
quite
to
yet.
see him play.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's gonna
I
be
mean,
sick.
that's going to be a shocker to
Oh.
a lot of people.
They're not going to know what to do with that guy when he shows up.
He is fast. He is good. So to put, I mean, I'm just trying to picture this, right? You got Ollie Wright.
Yep.
You got JT coming. You got
Michelle's in there.
Michelle in the back, and then insert other
Yeah.
around. All we just need is someone to finish. That ball's going to be there. We just
Yeah.
need people to finish. And so Jaden's already showed that he can finish.
Yeah.
People are showing that they can finish today, right? So it's going to be awesome. I can't
It's
wait.
from a
I can't wait
2.62.
for this. to
There
see
you
this.
go. There you go. Well, let's talk a little bit about the striker situation because I thought it was apparent. You know, that's where our trialists were.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
You know,
It
roughly
was
four trialists.
very
is
clear. Yeah.
Titus didn't get to play out, so I really was looking forward to seeing him play.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
fair. We don't know.
Yeah.
No
I did
concerns.
ask-
We're not worried about him being injured or anything.
No,
We
right.
just
I think
it's
it's just-
preseason.
Yep.
And maybe
Preseason
he's having a
opportunity for
rest.
others.
You know,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Because the rumors we're hearing is he has been a menace this
A menace.
preseason.
I'm excited. to see
I
him.
asked Gabe when we were watching the game. I just asked him how's Titus doing. It's gonna be a handful.
Yeah.
And that's what I love.
Love to hear it.
I've seen, one game. There's one game on YouTube that I can find him. His hold up play is unreal. Just in that one game I saw. So like
that's what I'm surprised of. Is it looks to me the way our strikers played today, and it makes sense with the one up top that we need a striker with good hold up play.
yeah.
And we didn't really have that a lot of today.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's one thing I thought was missing. I think it would be great to see. I'd love to see 2, but definitely I feel like we need one more.
Right.
We need a striker. He doesn't have to be a big, but he's got to be able to hold the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, even Evan today held the ball, passed it off, but always with that kind of forward movement. But I really would like to see Titus, and I would like to see us pick up another striker.
And I don't think that option is off the table either.
No.
Like, we have a lot of guys that have experience in multiple different areas on the pitch. They've played 3, 4, 5 positions. So I think that's going to come into our advantage coming down the long stretch. If we do run into any injury troubles or anything like that, like you can move Evan into a central role because that's his natural position. You can move Messer to, right back if Jane Jones-Riley goes down. Like there are ways that we can build already from what we have, and it instills a lot of confidence in me as a fan going into this season, knowing we have a lot of players that have an uncanny ability to play wherever they're slotted.
Yeah.
We've got so many guys.
Let me ask you guys this question.
Yeah.
So like we got Titus, right? He can do some hold up play. Do we need another one?
Yeah.
Because and
Yes.
here's my
We need
thought,
depth.
right?
Yeah.
We have a lot of people
We do.
that can serve the ball
Oh.
into the
We have chefs all over the fucking field.
and all we need someone is like a poacher or somebody just to eat him up and put him in the back of the net. I want that guy that's in front making those runs every time. He's always seems to be
like
there.
a target man.
Right.
A
I mean,
finisher.
it's the same story. I mean, it's a slight change
Well, I
in the
think-
role, but
I think
variation.
what you're going to see, and this is just my opinion, and he might be going out looking for another striker, and maybe in some situations against certain defenses, he does want to play those double striker. But I think what you're going to see if you're going to have a single guy up front, that 4-2-3-1 that we were talking about on the attacking side for a formation, and you're going to have Titus up there by himself. When it comes to those rebounds, I think you're going to see a lot of those wingers attacking the original strike, cleaning up maybe some of those rebounds.
Right.
You might have an attacking midfielder after they have made the pass to continue that run, knowing they're either A, going to get the ball back off from Titus at an attacking position and take a shot, or if he shoots on the half turn and tries to slot it in and it comes off the post, they're there in front of the net to pick up that rebound, right? So that could be some of the deals they're thinking about, and maybe they just want some depth behind Titus. So they've got 2 of those guys that can play hold up plays, so they can either go 2 strikers.
Well, people get injured too.
Or they are going to have some depth for injury. Exactly right.
I will say, though, in the way we played today, I think one notable, it's not a concern, but if we are running down to the goal line and playing balls back in towards, the middle of the box,
Which we saw.
a lot,
2 or 3 different times.
we need to have somebody in that area ready for it. And I never really saw somebody coming in through the top of the 18.
That's a good point. There was a few times the ball just kind of dribbled right out to the top of the 18, and there was just nobody.
It was something early on in the the women's national team run that I noticed. It's like Emma has them playing this brand of football where they want to play balls into that space. Somebody's got to be there, because if somebody's there, then you have the world is your oyster at that point.
Right.
You can lay it off. You can rip a shot. You can go left. You can go right. It doesn't matter. You have every option on the table. So
I think if we had seen Titus on the field today,
you would have been
you would have seen him probably bury a few of those in the back of the net.
And I mean, we saw it with the first goal. Our trialist scooped up, but it was more left side playing in off of a rebound coming in off the wing.
More off the backside of some chaos.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I didn't see was any finishing with your head.
Yeah, true.
I mean, there was nobody attacking the balls at the end.
Yeah, no headers on the attacking side.
There was.
We did have one, and it went high over, but it was coming to that upper right hand corner and went just over. I can't remember who got that, but there was one. But yeah, you're right.
But I'm expecting a guy like Titus, this big guy, to finish that. But that's why I want another one.
Yeah,
is because we're gonna need it. There's gonna be injuries, and you're gonna have one or 2 guys. I mean, does anybody not feel like we've got a pretty complete feeling squad, actually. But does
Yeah.
anybody think we don't need another attacker?
No, I definitely
No,
think we
I
need
agree.
another.
No, we
attacker.
definitely need another forward.
That was the feeling.
We
right?
got a
that was the
million
vibe.
midfielders. but we
Yeah.
don't-
I
Yeah.
really think it's just one more attacker
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
maybe one more defender. And we're
Yeah, you don't have to have
Because,
two.
I
I would
mean,
say one more would be good.
We get into that, and I brought it up once before in a previous podcast. Is when we go up against one Knox, and they've got that big 6'4" center back, right? Where Titus is still learning his trade, and he's going up against a senior player, 6'4" center back. Titus might get neutralized a little bit, right?
That's true.
And
Yeah, it
you
might
may
happen.
need another type of big striker that you can put in there and say, all right, you know what? This guy in the first half has kind of got Titus's number a little bit.
Mhm.
This is what we're going to do. Titus, you're going to stay in. I'm going to put a clone of you right by side, and
Yeah.
see him cover both of you,
right,
Yeah.
right?
right.
That's kind of what I think they're kind of digging for right now.
No, I agree. Another thing to look at is Sean, you and I were discussing that we had heard Hartford had a pretty big striker.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, I want to see how we handle
Yeah.
this. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to this. So that didn't happen today.
No,
I don't know who the
unfortunately.
individual
Right.
was, but it certainly wasn't out there. In
Yeah.
fact, I didn't see a lot of height
No.
on
Yeah.
their side. So
No.
I would say, because, we've been talking about height. We wanted to see some older or some taller players come in, but didn't seem to play today. But
No.
we didn't play they
No.
weren't a big team either.
No.
Right.
So it seemed
We
pretty
didn't
even out
see
there.
their first players. But,
I think it's
Yeah.
going to be super situational.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's going to depend on the team.
I still can't
Yeah,
wait to see how
absolutely.
we handle that.
It's all
but
about
we're so
matchups.
physical.
Yeah.
We're a physical side. We are.
Yeah, I don't.
Like-
I don't think the height is the issue with the energy that we bring to the table.
No,
No. You can
No.
you can bring all the energy and you can still lose the height sometimes, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
That's how teams are going to play.
No goals on set pieces today.
Yeah, no,
None.
no.
So everything was
All
from the
from
field
open
to play.
play.
Everything was
Yeah.
open play
Yeah.
from our moving forward. It wasn't even really counter-attacking. I would say a lot of stuff came after nice spells of possession. The first goal was beautiful build-up play.
right.
Absolutely beautiful build-up play. So we've got some beautiful build-up play in us. I was surprised by it. Like I said, we kept possession. We spread the ball out. We recycled the ball,
Mhm.
moved it around side to side. I don't know what possession ended up being. I'd say we probably edged it 55-50. You think?
Yeah,
I
First
would
half,
say 60-40 even.
60-40. Yeah, that feels
Overall.
aggressive. to
We,
me.
we ate up a lot of ball in the second half.
yeah.
We ate up a lot of ball in the second
Will we
half.
get stats like that from somewhere, anywhere at this
Yeah,
league,
we're-
this level?
Hearts of Pine are on Foot Mob.
So we could see right now from that game.
I don't know about that one, but it was
Okay.
the only listed preseason game. Like when you
Yeah.
just search Hearts of Pine on Google
Yeah,
and they show the schedule, that's like the only preseason game that was listed.
Yeah.
right.
So I'm not sure if we'll see stats from today, but I will say I think my final closing thoughts on it is I'm just really impressed with how polished we look for how early on this is.
we are.
100%.
Like 4 or 5 preseason games, set to 90 minutes under our belts. We've had, a few trickle in additions to the
Mhm.
squad. It feels like these guys have been playing for a year already. Like
Yeah.
really, the vision was there, the camaraderie was there, all gas no brakes play. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
it was about as good as a preseason game can
Yeah.
get.
It was a wonderful day. Stadium. I like the stadium too. So shout out to Hartford for having
We'll
us.
be back.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll definitely be
A
back.
little bit of 295 vibes there,
Yeah.
like our stadium.
Right on the highway, not a big parking
Yeah.
lot.
Right.
Right outside of the main heart of the city.
Yeah.
Nice fans.
Yeah.
Their seats on the far side are certainly bigger than ours. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah,
have a much
for
The
sure.
bigger,
incline is really nice.
Yeah.
taller
I like the
section.
stadium. Like,
And they
the
also
vibes are
have a
nice.
very small set of stands that goes across the far goal as well.
Right.
Yep.
It doesn't hold a lot of people, but there is a small group of stands down there that's enclosed, actually.
Some drums came out last 15.
Yeah.
Not
10,
sure why
15,
they only
yeah.
only there on the other side. On the other side.
4-0 in like the 85th minute, and all of a sudden
Time to get the
we
boys
hear-
going.
Time to bang the drums.
We hear drums.
It was good though to see the level of support that Hartford was getting too, because I'll just say it, there wasn't a lot of noise
no, there
coming out
wasn't.
from any of those guys.
No.
There was no clapping on, regaining possession. There wasn't much. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm proud already. of
Charles
what we're
broke out
gonna-
in the song.
Yeah.
did?
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Check the socials.
I'm not
everybody.
singing it right now, although I want to.
Don't.
No, I won't. No, I won't. All right, ready? No. But just, I'm proud that we're already, 12 people. I don't know if it was 12. I don't know why I keep saying that. But a small group of us, we brought it.
Yeah.
And
7
it
to 10.
speaks so much to what we're
Yeah.
going to do this season.
Oh, can't wait.
And I'm hearing there might be hundreds of
Right.
people going down to Naples.
that came out of Gabe's mouth.
Yeah, well, I think that's a lot of like the ownership and stuff that's also going on.
Yeah,
So-
his friends.
We
family.
rock up to Naples
Yeah.
with,
But let's
hundreds of people. That is,
yeah.
That's
But
awesome.
let's step back just a second because
Okay.
like I know that we got one more preseason game in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
But I'm talking to you all that are watching this podcast. Lewiston,
March
20th. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, get your tickets. We're going to be loud.
Mm.
It's going to be fun.
Mm.
And I expect everybody to be there. And if you're not there, I'm going to come find you.
We're gonna have the drums. We're gonna have
From
the
the co-chair
flags.
himself.
And we're
Get
gonna
kicked out
have
'cause I'm
we're gonna
threatening
have
people.
QR codes ready to go. Josh off camera. QR codes for Lewiston are gonna be ready to go for the run of show.
Yeah.
Confirmed from our match day chair and
Mhm.
treasurer Josh. We appreciate him. The committees have been working their asses off, getting ready.
Yeah.
It feels like this last year has really creeped up on us. The last 16 months we've
Yeah.
been at this, day in and day out, and showtime is almost here.
Can't wait.
The energy is going to be electric,
Yeah.
and I just can't wait for everybody to see what we got to see today. Meet the guys.
Mhm.
Every single one of them came up, dapped us up
That was
after the
great.
game.
That was great.
Yes.
We are ready for it. The team is ready for it. Strap in Portland, strap in Maine. The Hearts of Pine are coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you best be there to lift them up when they need it.
It's special.
Really all I got to say.
Soak
Yeah.
it in.
And this is an exciting team to watch. This is
Oh,
not
so
one
much
of those
fun.
teams you're going to go there and you're going to watch them kick it around the back for 5 or 10 minutes, and then they're going to take one shot, and then they're maybe going to get the ball back and kick it around for 5 more minutes, back and forth, a lot
Yeah.
of back and forth passes. That's not this type of team.
No.
This team is as advertised. They are on the front foot. They are aggressive. And when they get the ball, they are looking to attack largely down the left-hand side and then putting in some beautiful crosses. And, we just maybe need that one additional striker in addition to Titus. And we're going to see some goals, and this is going to be fun.
I think some
Absolutely.
records are getting broken this year.
This is going to be fun.
Love it.
But that's for the preseason show. When we break it down.
Apologies to we didn't make it to the Heart store because we had to obviously make the drive down to
been a long
Hartford
day.
today. So we're gonna try and get back at the Heart store on the 15th. Make sure you check out our content where you usually find it, but also at the Blazing Musket. Once again, shout out to them.
And then last but not least, March 8th. That's
Yep.
the opening weekend for USL.
Yep.
There's 2 games on tap starting at 4 p.m.
Right.
We're going to get to see Westchester play. We're going to get to see Naples play. We're going to be at Bunker Brewing through both those matches, painting some flags, having some drinks, singing some songs,
Get involved.
and getting ready and really kind of bringing the season to a start. So
Absolutely.
join us at Bunker Brewing on March 8th at 4 p.m. to partake in all of the festivities. Paint your own flag. We encourage fans to bring a flag that they want to paint, whether it's blank or a Portland flag, Maine flag. We'll have some paint and brushes and
Yeah.
things like that
Bring
on
your own
site.
flags.
But bring your own
flags
flag
if you want to.
Bring your own supplies if you want to share. This is a community event.
Only if you want to share. Don't bring your stuff if you're not going to share.
We're just trying to create
Sharing's
this little
caring.
family
Sharing
reunion. Sharing
is
is caring.
What are we doing?
no,
Wrap this up.
Okay.
No, it's March 8th, 4 p.m. USL.
I don't share and I don't care. Not really. No. I'm just teasing.
I don't believe that.
Yeah. No.
Uh,
Oh God, the comments.
No.
I don't even want to know.
we're tired. It's been a long day, folks.
It's been a
Up the
great day.
Hearts.
It's been a
Up
long
the
day.
Hearts.
Day. What up
4-0.
Hearts. Let's do
4-0
it.
up the Hearts.
Up the Hearts.
All the rights are number 10 from England. All the rights are number 10. Ollie for Portland.